Hi, I am Elton and I'm here to explain to you active and passive voice. As a child, I always thought that we had to change the tone of our voice when it came to active and passive voice. But that's definitely not true. In fact, in this video, we will see what it actually is, how to identify the voice, and how to change from one form to another. So why is active and passive voice necessary? In active voice, the focus is on the action. As you see there, one should respect one's elders. The focus is on respecting. Whereas in passive voice, we draw the attention of the doer. Elders should be respected by the bird is talking in this case, so it's the bird. So before we proceed, we need to know some background about three things. Verbs, we need to be familiar with verbs, with subject, verb and object combinations in a sentence, and with tenses and their different types. So let's dive in. In English grammar, verbs have 5 properties: the voice, the mood, the tense, the person and the number. And here we are concerned with the voice. So what is active voice? When a subject, could be a person or a thing, acts upon its verb. For example, I am explaining active and passive voice. I am the subject and explaining is the verb. So I am acting upon the verb of explaining. Whereas passive voice, in passive voice, the subject is a recipient of the verb's action. The person or the subject receives the verb action. Let's see some examples. The girl sings a song. He won the race. Ronaldo will score a goal. So identifying and changing the voice. I have 3 sentences in 3 different tenses. So the very first thing to do is to look for the verb in a sentence and then identify the tense. So the verb sings is in the present tense, the verb won is in the past tense, and the verb will score is in the future tense. Once we've got that base done, then we need to make the change. Something like asking, how does this sentence impact the subject? How does a song impact the girl? Or the race impact the person? Or the goal impact the player? That would lead us to understand passive voice. So in the final change, the girl sings a song. The very first thing you notice is that the object is now become the subject. A song is now the subject. The subject has gone to the end of the sentence, that is the girl. Now this bit is important. The word by. That tells us that it is passive, that the subject is passive. And finally the verb sings becomes is sung. That means from present to present perfect tense. Let's look at another one. He won the race. The race is the first change, the object becoming the subject. He becomes him. The pronoun he has changed to him in this case. Again the word by has come there. And won, which is simple past, has now become past perfect, was won. So the race was won by him. And maybe you can just do the third one, the goal or a goal. Ronaldo has moved the object from the subject. The word by once again. Will score becomes will be scored. The future, simple future becomes future perfect tense. So to give you a table of the overall, here is, I've used the verb sells in different contexts in the active voice, and when it changes to the passive voice, it changes in this format. So a simple present tense cells will change into a present perfect, which is sold or are sold. The vendor sells vegetables, let's say. Vegetables are sold by the vendor. The vendor was selling vegetables. Vegetables were being sold by the vendor. The vendor will sell vegetables. Vegetables will be sold by the vendor. So you see how the change happens from the active to the passive voice. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thank you.